Welcome back to The Pulse. I am David Harris Jr. Well, a total eclipse is coming to a sky near you, and the space nuts are going loony. On Monday, millions of Americans will flock to the path of totality, where for 4 whole minutes, the sun will be completely blacked out. It's a Bill Gates dream come true, friends. But some other bizarre projects are also lining up with the moon and the sun. CERN, the European Council for Nuclear Research, not sure how much you know about them. There's some pretty interesting things about that organization if you look it up. Well, they're also ramping up its Large Hadron Collider for the first time in 2 years for a particle acceleration experiment that aims to discover the so-called God particle. Yeah, pretty insane. On the same day, NASA is also launching a series of rockets into the sun under the name APEP, which was the name of an Egyptian deity who embodied darkness and was the enemy of light. What the heck is going on with all this crazy stuff? It's pretty out there, friends. Are these mad scientists just trying to scare us? Or do they hold some mystical beliefs about eclipses that they're not sharing publicly? Well, joining me now to discuss is Newsmax's own meteorologist, Amy Metz. Amy, thank you so much for joining me this evening. Tell me, what is going on with all this craziness about the sun, the eclipse, NASA, and APEP, and CERN? What can you share? First of all, should Americans be frightened? Let's start there.
No, don't be scared. David, I loved your intro. I almost was kind of laughing. I was going into this interview myself thinking, this is where scientists are really getting excited. I work with you guys quite often on Newsmax, but before I came on today, my heart's kind of racing, and then you hit the nail on the head. These are just excited scientists is what they are. And, sometimes these things are not made public, and that can make people weary. However, we do have plenty of public information anyway, and what we're really doing here is we're trying to study the sun under rare circumstances where we can actually see its atmosphere or the sun's corona with our naked eye and through different means that we don't see every day.
Yeah, and you say with the naked eye, but in no way, shape, or form should anybody be looking at the eclipse when this happens, right? There's special glasses that a person can get and wear to be able to look at the eclipse. Am I correct?
You are. I do have mine next to me here, as I'll be viewing that and sharing it with Newsmax on Monday. But little tip some people might not understand is that actually right at totality, if you're in 100%, they do say it will then be safe as it's dark enough with that moon's entire shadow to see that sun's corona with your naked eye. However, I probably won't take mine off. I mean, it will last a while, so chances are within those 4.5 minutes, I'll do a little peek, but that would be the only chance that somebody could do that without hurting their eyes.
Yeah, so if they're in the pathway of totality, if they're along that, it's crossing the United States from the southwest to northeast, roughly. If they're in that pathway, they will have a solid 4 minutes that the sun will be completely blocked out. And so what they'd be looking at would be the moon and then seeing the rays around the sun. Then and only then, friends, can you look. But I still say, because kids, you never know if they're looking, they forget, or the sun comes out. We don't want anybody getting blinded or anything like that. What do you make of APEP and what NASA's doing, firing rockets into the sun? What's that all about?
Well, they've always had a lot of very out there science. They're always studying more than what the everyday people understand or would ever talk about around their kitchen table. So the fact is that they've just been advancing science so far that this is just the next step. It's where scientists haven't been yet. It's that little piece to the puzzle that could help us know, will we get a major solar storm? Can we forecast these solar storms that, yes, sometimes things can sound frightening. There are chances that we could lose power. However, I'll stop that there and tell you we have a lot of organizations working with NERC and our power companies to avoid problems. But the fact is that big solar storms could pose a threat to us, and they do. And so getting any kind of information about that sun's atmosphere, getting closer to it, getting any kind of extra data is really, it's kind of like a playground for scientists, because even though we have an idea of what we'll do with some of that information, people down the road, kids watching today, they may actually come up with ideas down the road where that data helps us immensely.
And what about CERN? I don't know how much you know about CERN. I've seen a lot of different videos. I know specifically where they're at in Switzerland, that actually has some ties to an ancient city that's actually talked about in the Bible that is basically referencing, it calls it Satan's like birth city or Satan's like city. That's where CERN is located. So there's a lot of like, I mean, this is all factual. There's a lot of people that are like, okay, why are they putting this Hadron Collider where they're literally this 17-mile around a collider where they're going to try to crash two atoms into each other in order to break them open? Some of the scientists have actually said they don't know what could happen if they're actually able to do this, and they're trying to do this on the exact same day on April 8th. They say if they collide, you know, we're trying to find the God particle. Maybe it opens a black hole. Maybe it does nothing. Maybe it opens a portal. What do you know about CERN that you could tell us?
You know, not enough, if I'm being honest. I mean, of course, I've researched information from them. What I don't find too much public information. I would love to learn more about them, and I feel like I would need to be inside to get that information. And so what they're doing, how they're doing it, what they're publicizing versus what is hidden, what may be ethical to one may not be ethical to another, I truly can't speak on those grounds with any kind of certainty other than to say that they are there, and I would love to learn more and share that with you if I could feel grounded in that.
Well, I would say it's definitely something I think you should look into. I think it's something that we as Americans, I mean, it's when they're talking about colliding these atoms to try to break them open and they don't know what's going to happen. I mean, it's kind of concerning. Me, again, as a person of faith, a person that loves Jesus, I know what I believe happens in the end. And I don't think it's a black hole that happens in Switzerland that eats up the earth. So I'm okay. I have faith. But Amy, thank you so much for joining us this evening and talking about, this totality. And again, friends, don't look directly into it. But God bless you, Amy. Have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you for coming on.
You too. Thank you.